A very good afternoon everyone, welcome to Audio Tap. My name is Devanshu Gupta and today I have for you the general awareness video with current affairs from 30th and 31st of August guys. These are the topics which we'll be covering today. But guys, along with that we'll also be covering up on the MCQs from our previous videos. So do stick on with the video till the end because we'll be covering important MCQs from the previous videos. So guys, these will be the topics. We'll be talking about the sovereign gold bonds. We'll be talking about Indian-Algerian naval exercise, we'll be talking about Asian Youth Championship, we'll be talking about BillDesk, and we'll be talking about the 9 Supreme Court judges that have taken the oath. So guys, but before that, I would like to request you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any future updates. And guys, you can also join our Telegram channel through which you will be getting the free PDF for today's session. And guys, link for the Telegram channel is in the description box below. So guys, we are also running a flash sale where we are offering you flat 40% off on all of our courses guys. Just use code SUCCESS and it will be valid till 2nd of September guys. So today is the last day to avail the flash sale. Use code SUCCESS and you will be entitled to get 40% off on all of our courses guys. So guys, let's get started with the first news, and guys, it is a pretty important news in my opinion. So 9 Supreme Court judges have taken oath in one go, and it is by far the greatest number of Supreme Court judges to take oath simultaneously. Along with that guys, in those 9 judges, 3 women judges were also present, which is also by far the greatest number. So what we have to take away from this news that 9 Supreme Court judges have taken oath simultaneously, which is by far the greatest number of Supreme Court judges to take oath simultaneously in India. And guys, with this, the working strength of Supreme Court has now risen up to 33 judges. So we need to remember 9 Supreme Court judges. Along with that, the total strength of Supreme Court judges is currently 33. Next guys, I'll be sharing with you the previous video superstars. So Prashant Gupta, Swayam Prakash, Yukti Gupta, Rohit Reddy, Sangeeta Singh and Suraj Bera have given the right answer. The question for previous video was that who is the director of Zoological Survey of India? Now guys, I know the Zoological Survey of India's website. If you search for the director directly, it is not updated, but well, there is an update about Dr. Dhriti Banerjee been appointed as the new director of Zoological Survey of India. And guys, the big thing about this news is that she is the first female director of Zoological Survey of India in the history of more than 100 years. So guys, with that, this becomes a pretty important current affair that Dr. Dhriti Banerjee is the director of Zoological Survey of India, and she is the first female director, first woman director of Zoological Survey of India in its history of more than 100 years. With that guys, I have the next homework question for you, and the question is that what is the sanctioned strength of Supreme Court judges? A fairly easy question guys. The current strength of Supreme Court judges is 33. You have to tell me what is the sanctioned strength of Supreme Court judges. All of those who will give me the right answer, I'll pin your comments in the next video guys. So I hope you all will be able to answer this question correctly. No problems if you have given the wrong answer in the previous video. It's a pretty tricky question, I understand, but this one is a pretty simple one. So please write down in the comment section below. Now guys, moving on, next we have that Indian and Algerian navies have carried out their first exercise. And guys, from Indian side, from the Indian Navy, INS Tabar represented the Indian Navy. And guys, the important part about this exercise was, since it was the first exercise, the objective of the exercise has been, said that it is to enhance the interoperability and understand the concept of operations followed by each other. So guys, what does this signify? What does this imply? This basically tells us that both the navies are looking forward for collaborations in future, and they're looking forward to understand how the both navies work, how they manage, how they process or proceed with procedures. So this is a good step taken by India and Algeria in order to work on their relationships. Along with that guys, let's just quickly wrap up the capital and currency of Algeria. The capital of Algeria is Algiers and currency is Algerian dinar. With that, guys, I would just like to revise that Indian and Algerian navies have carried out their maiden, that is first exercise. And guys, the objective of the exercise was to understand the working and interoperability and concept of operations followed by each other. Next, guys, we have that RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, has launched the sovereign gold bond. SGB is the sovereign gold bond series 6. Guys, the sovereign gold bonds are launched by RBI on behalf of Government of India, and what they offer is they have a tenure of 8 years, but they can also be redeemed after 5 years with a fixed annual return of 2.5%. Basically, they pay interest on the issued price per gram of gold, 2.5% per annum, and the return on the final after the lock-in period is totally tax-free. So guys, the takeaway from this news is that RBI that has launched sovereign gold bond 6 series of 2021-22 will be open for subscription from 30th August to 3rd September. The takeaway is that it is launched by RBI on behalf of Government of India, and recently sovereign gold bond 6 series have been released. The issue price, guys, is 4732, that is 4732 rupees per gram of gold. I hope you understand that SGB Series 6 has been launched by RBI and it is issued on behalf of the Government of India. Next, guys, we have 39 medals won at the Asian Youth and Junior Championships. So that's a big accomplishment. But along with that, what also happened for the first time was that both Youth Championship and Junior Championship were held together in Dubai. So first of all, they both were held together. That's understood. The location is Dubai, and India has won 39 medals, including 14 gold medals in both youth and junior championships. So guys, a good takeaway from this news would be that India has won total of 39 medals, which includes 14 gold medals, both coming together from youth and junior championships, Asian Youth and Junior Championships, which were held together in Dubai, which was for the first time both the events were played together at an event. Now guys, this is the list of the gold medal winners from the junior championship. We have Rohit, Bharat, Vishu, Tanu, Nikita, Chand, Mahi, Raghav, Pranjal and Kirti. This is the list of junior championship of the gold medal winners. And guys, this is the list of youth championship gold medal winners. We have Bishwamitra, Vishal, Neha, Preeti, Dhaya, Sneha and Khushi. Guys, just a quick revision again. You can pause the video or you can repeat after me. The junior championship gold medal winners are Rohit, Bharat, Vishu, Tanu, Nikita, Mahi, Pranjal and Kirti. Guys, you should be thorough with these names. These are the gold medal winners of the junior championship Asian Junior Championship. Along with that, you should also be thorough with the names of Asian Youth Championship gold medal winners, which are Bishwamitra, Vishal, Neha, Preeti, Sneha, Kumari, Sneha and Khushi. Guys, you will be getting a PDF of this anyway, so you can either pause video, repeat this, or you can take the PDF and learn remember these names from there. So guys, this was the takeaway, that India has bagged 39 medals, including 14 gold medals at the Asian Youth and Junior Championship. Next, guys, we have that PayU has acquired BillDesk, which is a Indian digital payments provider, for $4.7 billion. Guys, so Process has made an investment in PayU. Now through that, PayU and BillDesk are now coming together, in which PayU has paid $4.7 billion to BillDesk in order to acquire it. So with that, Process has now invested nearly $10 billion in the Indian digital payments services. So this would be the takeaway from this news. The major headline which we need to remember is that PayU has acquired BillDesk for $4.7 billion. Now guys, we'll be moving on to the interesting part and we'll be covering the MCQs from our previous videos. So hang on, you can go back, revise from the previous videos current affairs, or if you do remember, you are thorough with your current affairs, your GA, all you have to do is just stick with me, read, go with the questions, and then you have to tell me how much you scored, how many answers correctly you were able to get from the MCQs. Now guys, starting on the first question I have for you is that recently an MOU has been approved between India and dash in the field of disaster management. The options are Japan, Bhutan, Russia, Bangladesh or Myanmar. Now guys, this will be a fairly quick session. If you know the answer, good, mark it down and then you'll see whether it's right or wrong. The right answer for this is guys Bangladesh. So recently India has signed an MOU with Bangladesh which has been approved and it is in the field of disaster management. The right answer is Bangladesh guys. Again, I would repeat that with Russia we have signed an MOU in regarding coking coal for steel making industry, but India has signed an MOU with Bangladesh in the field of disaster management which has been approved. Next guys, we have that who among the following has been appointed as the new Prime Minister of Malaysia following the resignation of Muhyiddin Yassin. The options are Rashid Hussain Abdullah of Pahang, Ismail Sabri Yaqub, Teh Hung Piu or none of the above. Guys, Muhyiddin Yassin, I hope you remember why he resigned as the Prime Minister of Malaysia recently. Well, he was facing intense criticism over his COVID policies, post which he has resigned from the post, and to take his place Ismail Sabri Yaqub has taken over as the new Prime Minister of Malaysia, and he has been the former Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia as well. So now he will be taking in charge of Malaysia as its new Prime Minister. Next guys, we have that recently India's highest herbal park has been inaugurated at a height of 11,000 feet in which of the states or union territories. Okay guys, a fairly easy question in my opinion. We have a herbal park which has been inaugurated at 11,000 feet, which is at the highest height in India. The options are Jammu and Kashmir, Assam, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Ladakh. Now guys, how can we remember this? We need to remember that it was near Indo-China border and it is in Uttarakhand. So the right answer for this is guys again Uttarakhand, that the India's highest herbal park has been inaugurated at 11,000 feet in Uttarakhand. So Uttarakhand will be the right answer for this. Next guys, we have that World Mosquito Day is marked on which of the following dates in the month of August. So guys, a question regarding day, a day which is marked as World Mosquito Day. We need to remember the date. I hope you remember when the World Mosquito Day is marked. The options are 30th August, 6th August, 8th August, 4th August, 20th August. Guys, the right answer for this is 20th August. And guys, I hope you remember what the theme of the day was. It was reaching the zero malaria target. We know that themes of days along with their dates are fairly important, in fact they are very important. One or two questions will definitely come from the theme part or asking about what the date of the day is. So the theme for World Mosquito Day is that reaching zero malaria target, and it is marked on 20th of August. Next guys, we have that recently for the first time in Indian Army, women officers have been promoted to which of the following ranks? The options are Captain, General, Lieutenant Colonel, Colonel or Marshal. Guys, again an easy question. We remember that recently Supreme Court has said that women will be able to take the NDA exam, post which we also heard a news that 5 women officers have been promoted to the Colonel rank. Now guys, I hope you got this answer correctly. We have repeated this again and again that 5 women officers have been promoted to Colonel rank, and previously Supreme Court has allowed women to take the NDA exam. Guys, there have been 2-3 news regarding to to get a fair chance, to give a fair chance to women, recently NTPC has recruited an all-women engineer executive trainee staff, and Indian Army for the first time have promoted women officers to the rank of colonel. Supreme Court has said that women will now be able to take the NDA exam, and previously Indian Army has basically it was said that women officers will now be able to get permanent commission as well. So these will be the topics which you will need to remember. Next we have that recently India's first smog tower has been inaugurated in which of the following cities? The options are, guys, New Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai or Chandigarh. I hope you remember this as well. The right answer for this is Delhi. So in New Delhi at Connaught Place, India's first smog tower has been inaugurated. And if you do remember, do let me know who was in charge for the construction of the smog tower, and which two institutes are in charge for giving us the analysis of how it's working for the technical part of the smog tower. Along with that, guys, we also covered about New Delhi, that New Delhi has the most CCTVs per square mile according to the Forbes list, followed by London and Chennai. So next, guys, we have that recently which of the following banks has become first Indian lender to list its AT1 bonds on the International Financial Services Center, that is IFSC. The options are Yes Bank, HDFC Bank, IDFC First Bank, or Jeevan Small Finance Bank, or Paytm Payments Bank. Guys, this is one of the most, if not the most important question, but I hope you will be able to remember this fairly easily if you remember that HDFC Bank is one of the biggest private lenders in India, and it has issued $1 billion worth of AT1 bonds, which is for the first time they have issued it on the International Financial Services Center, that is IFSC. I hope this will help you remember that it is HDFC Bank that has recently listed its AT1, that is additional tier 1 bonds, on the International Financial Services Center, IFSC. So now, guys, moving on, next we have that what was the name of the joint training exercise that took place between India and Kazakhstan in August 2021. The options are Anzac 21, Indo-Kazakh 21, Sher Shah, Kazindh 21, or none of the above. Guys, for those of you who remember, the right answer for this is, well, I hope you are able to answer this. It is Kazindh 21. So, the exercise that took place between India and Kazakhstan in the month of August 2021 was named as Kazindh 21. Guys, these all are wrong answers. I hope you will be able to cancel them out easily. Now, guys, moving on, next we have that recently which of the following has become first Indian renewable energy companies to get listed on NASDAQ. The options are Tata Power, Adani Power, NTPC REL, Renew Power, or Suzlon. Now, guys, I hope you are not wondering that why are we covering this question. Well, we have covered the current affair, and even though it might seem like a finance related news, but well, everything comes under GA, so this can also be asked in the GA section. So guys, the right answer for this is Renew Power has become the first Indian renewable energy to get listed on the NASDAQ, that is a stock exchange. Now, guys, we should remember this news. If we go into a little bit of detail, just to remember what the inside of the news was, that will help us remember such questions like which was the first company, Indian renewable energy company to get listed on NASDAQ. I think if we just go into the inside of the news a little bit, we'll be able to remember the current affairs, because then we'll have a little bit knowledge and we won't have to, just cram up everything. So, Renew Power acquired a firm that was already listed on the NASDAQ, and through that Renew Power got listed on NASDAQ. So, with that, I hope you will be able to remember that Renew Power has become first Indian renewable energy company to get listed on the NASDAQ. Next guys, we have that recently NSE has decided to include Dash and Dash in its Nifty indices. Guys, the options are stocks and mutual funds, REITs and investment ITs, small caps and mid caps, NFOs and IPOs, bonds and debentures. First of all, I hope you all know what these are. Well, stocks and mutual funds are already a part of Nifty indices. Well, not mutual funds, but still stocks are already a part of it. Investment ITs and REITs. Small caps and mid caps are also a part of Nifty indices already. NFOs and IPOs cannot be a part of Nifty indices because if they haven't been listed yet, how can they be included in a Nifty index? And guys, bonds and debentures, well, we'll keep that aside for now. Guys, the right answer for this is REITs and investment ITs, which are real estate investment trust, will be included as a part of Nifty indices as told by the National Stock Exchange, that is NSE. So guys, this is a fairly important news. It is a pretty good step from the NSE to include REITs and investment ITs in the Nifty indices. Next guys, we have that recently the entry age for National Pension Scheme has been revised from 18 to 65 to 18 to dash. So guys, National Pension Scheme is regulated by PFRDA, and it has recently revised its entry age from basically its age limit from 18 to 65 to 18 to dash. Guys, the options are 35, 60, 70, 85 or 99. Okay, so now this is a type of question which you will have to remember. So the new age has been shifted from 18 to 65 to 18 to 70. So 18 to 70 will be the age limit for National Pension Scheme according to the PFRDA. Next guys, we have that recently who has been appointed as the Director of Zoological Survey of India. Now I hope all of those who gave the right answer would obviously give the right answer again, but those of you who got confused with Dr. Kailash Chandra, the right answer for this is guys Dr. Dhriti Banerjee. So now covering this video up, I would like to thank you all for joining in and watching the video till the end. You can send us an email at hello@edutab.co.in for any queries, and you can log in to our website www.edutab.co.in. We have a flash sale going on with coupon code SUCCESS, and you will be entitled to get 40% off on all of our courses. That's it from my end guys. Thank you very much for joining in.